What makes something scary, creepy, terrifying, or just so strange that it haunts our dreams? For some, all it takes is a spider or a snake. For others, it needs to be an eldritch horror straight from H.O.P. Lovecraft's world. Many of the more famous prehistoric beasts gained notoriety because there's something about them, be it the size of their teeth, that they're covered in spikes, or their sheer size, that elicits a primeval sense of dread in our mammalian brains. Hopefully somewhere in this video is a creature that sends a bone-chilling tingle up your spine, one that you're glad went extinct. Now it can only haunt you in your dreams. The top 10 scariest night creatures you've never heard of are what we're counting down today. We'll be ranking the most frightful, terrifying, or otherwise bizarre monsters from many myths around the world for this list. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon for more informative videos. Number 10. Werewolf. The werewolf is a prevalent idea in European folklore that has various variations. These variations are connected by a shared medieval Christian interpretation of the folklore that underlies European culture. With the advent of colonization in the early modern era, werewolf superstition also migrated to the New World. During the late Middle Ages and early modern eras, werewolf superstition evolved in a similar fashion to witch belief. The trial of purported werewolves, like the witchcraft trials as a whole, began in what is now Switzerland, particularly the Valais and Vaud, in the early 15th century, expanded throughout Europe in the 16th, peaked in the 17th, and died out by the 18th. Number 9. Vampire. A vampire is a legendary creature that lives by consuming the vital essence of the living, usually in the form of blood. In European legend, vampires are thought to frequently visit loved ones and create trouble or deaths in the communities they lived in while they were still living. The early 19th century vampires, which are very different from the gaunt, pale vampires of today, wore shrouds and were sometimes characterized as bloated and of reddish or dark complexion. In contemporary fiction, the vampire is frequently portrayed as a classy, alluring antagonist. Vampire sightings are occasionally recorded, despite the overall lack of belief in such creatures' cetacean needed. There are still vampire hunting societies, although they are primarily organized for social reasons. Number 8. Chupacabra. In Latin American folklore, there is a monster creature known as the chupacabra that preys on animals and drinks their blood. The chupacabra has been referred to as the Sasquatch of the South, a dreadful but probably unreal creature. Only recently has the chupacabra joined the vampire in the bestiary of blood-sucking monsters. The first reports of chupacabras date back to 1995 in Puerto Rico, where they were allegedly responsible for attacks on sheep, goats, and other domestic animals, leaving behind uneaten carcasses that had been drained of blood. According to early descriptions, the monster was upright and looked like a gigantic reptile kangaroo with enormous red eyes. Number 7. Goblin. A goblin is a little hideous, horrible creature that occurs in European mythology from several cultural perspectives. They were first mentioned in legends from the Middle Ages, and depending on the story and place of origin, they are given varying talents, temperaments, and appearances, ranging from playful household spirits to vicious, bestial robbers. Goblins are thought to inhabit grottos, but attach themselves to homes, where they are said to pound on pots and pans, steal clothing from people who are asleep, move furniture at night, and run away after banging on walls and doors. They are said to assist parents in training their kids by rewarding them with gifts when they behave well and punishing them when they don't. Number 6. Wendigo. A mythical being or bad spirit known as the Wendigo first appeared in the folklore of some First Nations, as well as the Native Americans of the Great Plains and the Great Lakes. It is centered in and around the Canadian East Coast Woods, the American Great Plains, and the Canadian and American Great Lakes regions, which are home to speakers of Algonquian family languages according to contemporary ethnology. Wendigos are frequently described as terrible spirits that possess humans. They are occasionally portrayed as creatures who resemble humans. Number 5. Rokurokubi. Another Japanese yokai creature with a ferocious and evil visage is the Rokurokubi. Well, occasionally. The Rokurokubi can frequently pass for an ordinary person. The worst part is when its neck stretches out absurdly and its head separates from its body. Then strange things start to happen. Some legends link Rokurokubi assaults to the night, particularly those involving the Nukakubi type, whose heads were supposed to wander from their bodies in search of bloody prey. Other monsters from nations like Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia also exhibit this behavior, with their heads separating from their bodies and flying around Wahale, still having their entrails attached. Number 4. La Segua. Beware lounge lizards and pub crawlers. La Segua might be your next one-night stand. This myth from Nicaragua serves as a warning against premarital sex. The narrative of a woman who was abandoned by a man she had a relationship with prior to marriage is the basis for La Segua. According to the tradition, he lied to her and vowed to marry her after the event, driving her nuts. She now looks for victims to get retribution forever. Those unfortunate enough to come into contact with La Segua rarely make it out alive, since the monster's true appearance is that of a skeletal horse with menacing eyes that cause her victims to go insane. Number 3. Chupacabra. Another mythical creature with characteristics similar to vampires is the chupacabra, albeit this Puerto Rican monster usually targets animals and livestock. The Spanish word chupacabra means goat sucker, and it is said to resemble anything from a little reptile to a hairy bear with protruding spines. Anecdotal sightings have been reported everywhere from Russia, Chile, and Puerto Rico to Maine in the United States of America. The chupacabra is another unusual entry on this list because of its relatively recent origins. Tales of its habitual blood drinking and animal slaying only first appeared in the middle of the 1970s, and they gained popularity in the 1990s. Number 2. Alp. After encountering the animals mentioned in this entry, you might never experience the same old, uninteresting nightmares once more. The Alp and the Baktak are examples of sleep paralysis. They are nefarious beings that frequently sit on the chests of sleeping victims, obstructing their ability to breathe. When they attack, the Alp and the Baktak are supposed to give people nightmares. Occasionally, although less frequently, they are also connected to an incubus or a succubus. If that wasn't creepy enough, they are rumored to steal blood or breast milk from their victims, all victims. When the parent isn't looking, Alps will steal and reapply a dirty diaper to a defenseless baby, engaging in mischief akin to that of elves. Gross. Number 1. Manananggal. Just wait until you see Manananggal if you thought the Rokurokubi's habit of removing its head was strange. This Philippine beast really splits its entire torso in half before sprouting enormous wings and embarking on a nighttime blood hunt. The Manananggal's vampiric behavior frequently targets expectant mothers, and while the mother is dozing off, they would use their long tongues to suck the foetus heart. Fortunately, the Manananggal appears to have the same weaknesses as vampires, so should you ever come across one, garlic and holy water will work. That's it for today, guys. What did you think of the video? Please share with us in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon for more incredible videos.